UFC 281 kicked off last night. We had 3 championship fights last night. Now, for you guys who are MMA fans that listen to my channel, you guys, of course, know that I like boxing, I like MMA, and of course, on my channel, we're going to cover just whatever, you know, politics, boxing, sports, everything that makes, you know, anything that I like to cover, I'm just going to, you know, put it out there. And I'm an MMA fan, and last night at UFC 281, there was 3 championship fights. Alex Pereira has begun, has begun his career in the UFC. He's the former nemesis of Israel Adesanya, like I said before. So I'm going to read this article, and we're going to go into it, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on what happened in the fight that took place last night. Like I said, 3 championship fights. Now, it only took 4 fights for Alex Pereira to claim UFC gold. The Brazilian, who made his UFC debut on November 6, 2021, became the middleweight champion by defeating an old rival in a come-from-behind fashion. He scored a 5th-round knockout over Israel Adesanya in the main event of UFC 281. And like I said, that happened last night, and I watched that fight. Very entertaining fight. That boy is big, though. I mean, I think Israel Adesanya is 6'4". This fool right here is like 6'5". And you can see the difference inside the ring. Now, Pereira, he was badly rocked in the first round, and he looked exhausted in the 4th round as Adesanya, you know, he had a nice game plan, you know, and he was sticking to his game plan, you know, mixing, striking, and he was clinching it a little bit, you know, trying to keep this big dude up off of him. And they even had a couple of takedowns, you know, they was trying to, you know, sap this dude's energy because he ain't never been 5 rounds. This is a 5-round championship fight, you know, but there's a reason why Pereira won this fight last night. And the previous 2 meetings that he already had fought Adesanya in kickboxing, and that's his vicious power. Now, he's the only fighter to have knocked out Israel Adesanya, and now he's done it twice, right? That's crazy. This dude is big, man. And then, like I was saying before, sometimes some people just got your number. I'm not sure if he was in his kitchen cabinet. I'm not sure if he was in his head. You know what I'm saying? You get me? I'm not sure if he was in Israel Adesanya's head because, like I said, he already had beat him before and knocked him out before. Now, with the clock winding down in the final round, Pereira stepped on the gas and spent what was left in his tank as he hunted down Israel Adesanya. I mean, he pressed dude, man. He was really pressing him last night, all up in his grill. As you can see up in this this picture right here, he's all up in the style bender's personal space right here up on the fence, and he landed a huge right hand and followed with a barrage of punches to get the stoppage at the 2-minute and 1 mark, right? So, like I said before, it was a very competitive, a very good fight. You know, a rematch is almost guaranteed, you know, but right now, Alex Pereira, this dude, like I say, 4 fights. He kind of like Israel Adesanya did, came in, you know, in the MMA, and within a year or so, he was the champion. Now, in the co-main event, we got Zhang WEILI. Now, she done reclaimed the women's strawweight title with a 2nd-round submission of Carla Esparza. Now, if you guys don't know who Carla Esparza is, she just became, this is her 2nd time becoming the strawweight champion. You know what I'm saying? Because she just beat Rose in her last fight to become the champion again for the 2nd time. And Zhang, like I said before, was simply too big and strong for the Cookie Monster, and she kept Esparza on her back foot and a failed takedown attempt allowed Zhang to get around Esparza's back and sink in a rear naked choke and launched her into her 2nd championship, right? She was just too strong for her, right? Me personally, I thought Esparza, you know, I was telling my son, I think Esparza's going to win this because I thought she was just such a grappler, more of a grappler than WEILI. I know WEILI had power and she was really strong, but she surprised me last night with her grappling skills and just how strong she was, you know what I'm saying? Now, to start the championship fights out, we had Dustin Poirier and Michael Chandler. Oh my God, y'all. I'm telling you, talking about, man, man, Michael Chandler goes all in, but he does exactly what I thought he was going to do. If you guys don't know, Michael Chandler got his start. He was a champion in Bellator, right? And he moved over to the UFC. And when he moved over to the UFC, he's fought nothing but top-notch level competition, right? You know, he just recently beat Ferguson, I think, right? So he beat Ferguson, but all the other people, the top-notch level guys, he just coming up just a little bit short. But when I tell you right now that he was in Dustin Poirier's grill, and it was very close. He was very close to getting Dustin Poirier out of there at a couple of times. You know what I mean? But Dustin Poirier, man, he weathered the storm and came through. You know what I'm saying? Michael Chandler gave the fans what they wanted. It was a war in the feature fight of the night. Poirier had his hand raised in the victory as he submitted Chandler with a rear naked choke. Like I said before, you guys get a chance to watch these fights, maybe in a repeat, or if you did watch the fight last night, tell me what you think in my comment section, right? Like I said, it was a crazy UFC. ADESANYA is definitely guaranteed a rematch, and I can't wait to see it. Rowdy Nation TV, click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so anytime I drop a video, you guys can be notified. We out.